Hello YouTube, it is late Sunday night, technically Monday morning, 2:30 a.m. and I'm trying to get the date to come up, but it doesn't want to. Monday, July 10th, 2023. I'm going downtown. Come along with me for the ride. I'm not talking about why I'm going downtown. I'm just going to try to finish up the stuff that I was explaining earlier. Let's see. Winolo, drama with my daughter. Apparently my PayPal account, somebody's attempting to hack my PayPal account this morning at about 1 a.m. And I may have helped them with that. Had no trouble getting hold of somebody in the fraud department at PayPal Credit through Synchrony Bank, and she was very helpful. I mean, she was trying to be very helpful. Wanted me to send the email that I got, which is apparently a fraudulent phishing kind of email. I'm generally not one to fall for those things, but this one looked very legit. Basically, it looked like a standard notice to let me know that I'd changed my phone number on my account. But I hadn't made any changes to my account. So I'm like, whoa, who the fuck is in my account? Trying to change my phone number. And considering all the things that I've received, you know, to Brittany's phone number, which I have back, by the way. Have I mentioned that? I do recall mentioning that I got woke up out of a dead sleep and then transferred to somebody who kept yelling at me and telling me I called her when in fact I did not call her. Somebody called me and transferred me to her and woke me up out of a dead sleep. They had a kind of an Asian accent that I couldn't understand for shit. We were like yelling at each other. Anyway, I have successfully managed to put Brittany's old phone number onto Obamaphone 5. Now, interestingly enough, I've had that phone number on it for a couple of days, and I haven't received any calls or emails, or any calls or text messages from Brittany. So it's possible that in the roughly month and a half, almost 2 months, that phone number was not a valid number. But apparently it wasn't canceled, it was suspended. Although the woman with the strong Asian accent that was yelling at me couldn't explain to me the difference between what those things mean. All I know is if you called that number, which was my number for like a year and a half, mind you, at the very end of that year and a half, I was still getting text messages from Brittany regarding like her Bridge Pay account and other things like that. I have reason to believe it's still tied to her PayPal account. I might explain that later. But yeah, I've logged into her Amazon account. I've logged in, not like trying to, just getting messages that I thought was about my account and clicking the link, and then suddenly I'm like, ooh, this is not my account. At which point I just quickly edited it out without fucking with anything. Not my fault she hasn't updated her phone number. And my attempts to get a hold of her directly when somehow she got added into my friends on Snapchat just resulted in her quickly blocking me, because apparently she saw, ooh, some old guy's messaging me. Yeah, some old guy who has your phone number and keeps getting access to log into all your accounts with direct links that are being texted to me every time you seem to be having trouble with something. She's lucky I'm not the kind of guy that messes with shit like that. So I got that number back. But I haven't got any text messages on it whatsoever that are Brittany related. I have been getting some, like, a higher than usual amount of spam texts on it. And I fully blame that on Assurance Wireless. I think they're probably selling those numbers. You know, my opinion of Assurance Wireless has gone down dramatically in the last 2 months. And mind you, Assurance Wireless is just a division of T-Mobile. I forget where the hell I was going with this. I was wanting to explain the Winolo thing. So I go down to the Andre house to eat dinner, and also to try to find my daughter who's been discharged from the hospital this afternoon. And some friend of hers who I talked to for a while on speakerphone was dropping her off at the Human Services campus, but was not waiting there with her, having dinner with her, because according to her, he's clean after being off a bunch of drugs, just can't be around a bunch of people that are doing drugs. He can't be around have just gone wherever he's going, where he's choosing to not be around drugs, so that she could also be not around drugs. But no, she right back to the human services right back to the human services campus, right back into the zone, which is fine. Like, she can get over to Andre House to eat dinner. Like, I was planning on going to Andre House to eat dinner anyway. So, and yeah, after I ended that segment of the video, oh yeah, that section of the zone is getting crazy right now. But yeah, as I'm on my way into Andre House, I don't feel safe to shoot video of it with a smartphone like I typically do my walking vlog segments. I don't see my daughter in line. I don't see my daughter in the dining room. So I'm sitting down enjoying my meal. I figure, I'll catch up with her when I catch up with her. Hopefully she'll find me. I'm very much a creature of habit. I like habit. I like routine. When I sit down and I eat someplace within a dining room or a restaurant, unless I didn't like that spot, I always try to sit in the same spot every time. Because once that's the spot, like, that's my spot. That way everything looks familiar and I'm comfortable. When I sit someplace else, just the change will make me uncomfortable until I get acclimated to it, and I'd rather not have to have that period of stress while I'm trying to get acclimated. So I'm sitting in the spot more or less exactly the spot. I might be one table over, but pretty close to the spot, but a spot I could find that was clean next to some people that didn't look too nasty. Because there's a lot of really nasty people in the Andre House, just saying. So I'm trying to eat my dinner, and I'm hoping that if I just keep my eyes open, maybe I'll see her, or maybe she'll remember, maybe she's noticed that I am a person who tries to always sit in the same spot and try to go to the same spot we were sitting before to find me. She said she was in there. I have no idea where she was. I didn't see her in there whatsoever. But keep in mind, my vision, not so good. That's why I always go to the same place and hope people will look for me in the same place, because I make a point to be very consistent. But yeah, I can't recognize faces at much of a distance anymore. So, I mean, she's kind of easy to pick out because she's down to like 70 pounds and looks like skin and bones right now. It's like fucking walking death right now. It looks like it's one way northbound. So I have my dinner, and as soon as I have my dinner, I go ahead and my iPhone out. I'm not pulling all my phones out of my pocket, but I'm pulling my iPhone out. Now, mind you, I shot the video as I was walking into this on Obamaphone 3, but generally, like, messages and calls and all that stuff, most of that stuff's going through the iPhone. Right now, the only phones that have service are Obamaphone 5, which has Brittany's old number on it, and then my old number, which I've had forever, on the iPhone. So I checked the iPhone, and I had just got a push-through message. Now, to be fair, I don't know when I got the push-through message, but sometime between when I left my apartment and I sat down to start eating at Andre House, I got a push-through message from Manolo offering me a job. Now, I want to say it was probably about 6:45 when I saw this message. It wasn't a job at HelloFresh. It was a job at LSG Sky Chefs, which is where I used to see a lot of their gigs popping up when I was looking at the app like a year and a half ago. And that was the place that Garfield had told me was a great place to work at, where he regularly getting extra money. And I think he said he was getting like, $24 an hour to wash dishes. Well, they weren't offering that kind of money, but it was still decent money that they were offering. And at this point, like, I'm pretty much down to take any kind of money as long as it's not delivering in a car that I'm going to overheat from trying to deliver in. I'm trying to get the work. I'm trying to get the money. I think it was like $18 an hour. It was decent money. Not as long of a shift, but I think it was supposed to be from like 6:30 p.m. until 1 a.m. Perfect. I can do this. Let's just go make some money. Whatever. Allison wasn't waiting where she was supposed to be. That's on her. She'd probably rather be down here doing drugs anyway. I need to be working so I can pay my rent and pay my bills, because I'm kind of in crisis mode when it comes to that shit right now. Damn it. I'm looking for the Sheraton, and that's the Hyatt Regency. I don't know the names of all these downtown hotels. I don't come to downtown hotels very often. So I'm looking at that, and it says that that I'm working all temperatures, and that I need to dress. Obviously it's food service. I can't be wearing my flip-flops. But it's looking like I need to, and that's not That's the Renaissance. You know what? I'm just gonna have to pull over and look this shit up on maps. I'll explain this later, but it's the Winolo thing was super frustrating, and then the way my daughter contributed to it made it like 10 times worse.